And it says preparing live streaming. I think we're going to be in there in a second, setting it up. We're there. Hey, Laura, TGIF. I'm so excited. It's Friday in Chicagoland. It's going to be a hot, hot, hot day. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. First of all, I want to say thank you, Debbie, for doing my hair and cutting it short. It'll be nice and cool. Thank you. It looks beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a great subject today. You know how Debbie and I talk about how we don't always know what we're going to talk about, and then something comes in.
Right.
Something came to me about drinking tea. I could not believe what I found, the benefits of tea. And why I haven't been drinking a lot of tea all these years, I am shocked. We're going to talk a little bit about the different kinds of teas, and we're going to talk about the benefits of the teas. So if you want to get a pen and paper, write anything down, I suggest that you do research on it. Just look up benefits of tea and they'll give you all that. Or like I did, you could go on YouTube and they have all kinds of stuff about tea. But first I want to tell you a little bit about the history of tea. It goes back all the way from 1122 to 1256 BC. Okay, and they believe that Chinese were the ones that discovered the benefits of the tea and the medical benefits, as well as drinking it for other things. So it goes way back, and it does go back all the way to the Chinese. They considered it a toxic and could stop aging, promote youth, vitality, and ensuring a long life, which is absolutely amazing. I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple of teas here. Well, you know what? I'm going to direct it to you, Debbie, and you can talk about a couple of teas that you have experienced and what the benefits of it are.
That sounds good, Laura, because you know what? I love the fact of like how, you talked about how tea, the benefits or the, background and everything. I'm kind of wondering though, I don't know if you know this, if tea always was in a little tea bag, because there's many ways you can purchase tea currently. We can go and buy a tea bag, but we can buy tea where it comes like loose, and then there's these balls that you can actually put the tea in, and then you use them to seep it down in there into the water. And some people use a teapot, some people do like I boil water on the stove or do it in the microwave. But I've been drinking tea. It's kind of interesting that we talk about this, because the first thing I started drinking was tea, and with or without caffeine in it, and I drank it for years, and I would pick different flavors and all that kind of stuff. And then I kind of migrated into drinking some coffee. Okay, and coffee is something that I enjoy, but I've always kept drinking a cup of tea before I go to bed. And of course, I have to drink. It has to be decaffeinated, because if I drink anything with caffeine at bedtime, that is not good for me. But what I've been doing recently, which I think is really good, and I did a little research, and is peppermint tea. Okay, and peppermint tea is really good for your tummy. Okay, so if you have a little tummy ache, or you're just feeling a little queasy, and a lot of times I personally will go and take a peppermint candy, or actually what's really good too is like a ginseng or something like that, or ginger kind of thing. But I've also tried some ginger peach tea, and ginger peach tea is very therapeutic, and that also is really good for your tummy. It's really good to relax you. And also dandelion tea is another one I've tried. And dandelion tea is very good because the component in there is kind of a natural diuretic. So it helps you kind of lose some of your excess water, which is really good, toxins, flush your body and all that kind of thing. Another thing that I've also done a lot of is the hibiscus. Hibiscus is really good. Hibiscus mixed with even green tea, which green tea has a very good antioxidants, which I'm sure, Lori, I know that we've got this on our list and you'll talk about. But I want to bring up a point. I've been wearing my glasses a lot lately because I have a sty on my eye. Okay, not on my eyeball, but on my little lid there. And I've been using a green tea bag as my compress to make it feel better, to soothe it, to get it to go away. And it's actually been going along its process, and it should be pretty soon that it'll be gone. But green tea could also be put on a burn, or it could be put on a cut or something to help, like, to keep it cleanse it within, infections and stuff like that. And don't forget that all the teas that we're talking about don't have to be hot. They could be cold, and cold green tea is so good in the summer. It's funny, I forgot my teacup. I should have. It's so pretty. It's got flowers on it too. But cold tea, you could put basil in there, you could put lemon in there, you could put all kinds of fruits, drop some strawberries or anything in there. And seriously, you can make yourself almost like a passion fruit. And I know that, Starbucks is known for their coffee, but they have some very good teas. If you want to treat yourself to a really good tea, they've got a lot of them over there too. So, anyways, with that, Laura, I'm gonna send it over to you. Those are some of my favorites I wanted to kind of like talk about. So
No,
back to
I just still am amazed, My history with tea is when my neighbor and I were little kids and we would play with our dolls and we'd have little parties. We used to take the tea bags and we used to have just warm water from the tap and put our tea bags in there. And us girls would have little tea parties with our Barbies and all that kind of stuff. So that's my early remembrance of tea. I'm sure a lot of people out there have a lot of those kind of stories when they're kids. But chamomile tea, depression, anxiety, it helps with your stress and it boosts your immune system. Now I know for years I've heard people say, your even your child is sick and they have issues with their stomach and all that. They've given their kids chamomile tea. So that's a really good tea to look into. One of the ones that I was doing some research with, I've never heard of it, but it's time tea. Okay, and they say that's a must you should have in your house. It's an anti-inflammatory. It helps your bones stronger, your bones and heart stronger. It helps with bacteria. If you have any bad bacteria in your body, it will help you with that. And any infection you have, you should drink this. Not that it's going to cure your infection, you still have to see the doctor and that, but it will help with it. And it's known for helping with the common cold. So they say that's a tea that a must you should have in your house. Debbie talked about peppermint tea, and she talked a little bit about Starbucks. I know they're known for their chai tea.
hmm
And chai tea is for boosting immune system, lowering your cholesterol, and you're feeling awake. And that's why I think a lot of people drink that chai tea. I heard there's a lot more other benefits for it. That was just a tip of it. Another one that was interesting was a lemon balm tea. It's an
hmm
herb tea. It helps with stress, insomnia, and again, it will help you go to sleep at night. So that's another good one. So I have a couple more, but Debbie, I want to send it over to you. Do you have any other teas? Like, where do you buy your teas at?
Oh, well, here's an interesting thing. I just want to buying teas. Amazon is a great place, of course, and
Yeah.
but some of the like Fresh Time is a store locally to me, and then Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. They have a lot of teas, as well as just going into your local grocery stores. And I'm a big Aldi shopper too, so they definitely are carrying a lot of stuff. But I want to tag team on something you said that was really cool. I don't know if you did this, but I did this a lot. I gave our babies, when the kids were babies, I gave them chamomile tea in the bottle when they had an upset stomach, and it calmed them down. Like, and I diluted it. I didn't do it the amount that like I would have, like potency that I would have, because I didn't know how it would affect them. And boy, I'll tell you, lots of other people do that as well. So I think that is really good. But I think that, remember the old fashioned people go out for tea and crumpets or tea and like,
Yeah, right,
Biscottis or
right,
whatever.
right.
I think that that's so cute because, we typically go, oh, let's go out for a cup of coffee. Well, no, let's go out for a cup of tea or whatever. I mean, I think that it's socially, people forget about it. And I think, you hit the nail on the head. I think that I'm not going to say there isn't a benefit to coffee, because there are some pros and cons, but I think that tea outweighs the amount of benefit to the body, just from looking at what you have on these pages that we are looking at,
Oh,
and all
man,
the things that we
yes.
just started to say. So many people are really into it, and there's so many other ones that we haven't even touched on. And we love if anybody has any teas that they want to share with our
Mhm.
whole audience, and they want to put them in the comments too, something that maybe worked for you. Maybe you used it for some certain thing. We are all talking about the health and wellness, so we want to
Right,
on our
exactly.
path, and we want to, like, hey, if you got a tip, let us know. Back to you, Laura.
Yeah, I want to just talk about some of those things. I mean, there's a lot of teas out there, so I would do some investigating on them. But uh, there's the one thing we didn't talk about that a lot of these teas do is it boosts your metabolism. If you're like trying to lose weight and everything, black tea, any of the teas, a lot of the teas will help you with your metabolism and also will help you not feel hunger.
Hmm.
So, we all want to lose weight and everything. We try to come up with all kinds of diets and stuff. Maybe we should start drinking some more tea. I think that will help you out. I know I am. And secondly, anti-inflammatory. Oh my gosh. I suffer with so much of that with I have fibromyalgia and stuff like that, but I also have diabetes, and it says it helps with diabetes, any inflammation that you might have. It has a total benefit for that. And it also says it reduces a risk of dying from certain chronic diseases, believe it or not. It really helps. It helps stroke with strokes. If if you say your family has a history of strokes in your
Hmm.
family, I would suggest to drink some tea. Green tea is great for that.
Hmm.
Um, it can lower your risk of cardiovascular death by 16%. So
Wow.
that's really interesting how it helps with chronic diseases. And we all talk about coffee, like Debbie says. Let's go out for coffee. Do we talk about tea? So with that, Debbie, I'm going to have you talk a little bit more about some of the other ones that we saw, that the benefits of it.
Yeah, I was just picking up on a couple as you're talking. There's a benefit here that's interesting about, me and the brain. I talk a lot about that with
Yeah,
different
the
stuff,
brain.
and that's something that I've been like really, been studying and things like that. And it says regular tea consumption may lower the risk of getting Alzheimer's disease and other neurodegenerative diseases, which I think is really crazy to think that. And it talks about also, how it can boost your attention span
Right.
and cognitive decline. And so now, and it did say with or without caffeine in it. So there are other things that were just like, another thing that it might sound kind of funny is that it says it actually improves your oral health. So it's
Yeah.
actually good for your, I don't know if there's a component in some of the teas that help kind of like cleanse or what it does, but it's good. It's supposed to be good for your teeth where, we always wonder, for with caffeine and with coffee and stuff like it, is it going to stain our teeth? But with here, they're telling you that it's really good for that. And that tea actually contains fluoride. So fluoride is definitely really good, and it's also supposed to improve the bacterial populations in your mouth, which, you know, um, I know we've talked about so many things in the past, and I know Lori and I kind of reminisce on the one topic about breathing, because breathing,
Right.
we've been doing the exercises, and both of us have been significantly feeling good, and your nose filters, like the different things that comes into your body through the oxygen. But now, if you're drinking tea, that can also help, anything that you may intake in your mouth, because think about it, we are in environments and maybe we accidentally inhale through our mouths, so we're taking in possibly bacteria. So if we continue, if we do all the things that we're trying to do and we're talking about, and we make it a whole like lifestyle, we're bound to be better, don't you think? We're bound
Oh,
to be better.
definitely. I mean,
you
it is
know
amazing. Like I said, we need to encourage people to do research on some of this stuff. I said, if you don't
Mhm.
want to sit there and read things, go on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube about it. But it's just amazing. Like, for example, it says it could boost your fertility. That was interesting. And it's something to do with the stress and the
Mhm.
reproductive tissues.
Mhm.
It's interesting. And it's hydrating. It's
Mhm.
good for your gut. We talked about that.
Mhm.
It's amazing how it's good for your gut. And a lot of us, we're on the run all the time, and we don't eat right, and we eat too fast, and we end up getting, I know that's not something to really talk about, but we get a lot of gas.
Oh
It's
yeah.
supposed to help with the gas. And so it's amazing. And so I'm so excited. I'm going to go out today, and I'm actually going to buy all kinds of tea, and it's just amazing. And I'm
Well,
so glad we got this subject today.
me too. And you know what? Another thing too, Laura, really honestly, tea is very reasonable. Okay, it's
Yes,
not
it
very
is.
expensive. So
Right.
it's not like, different coffees, different coffee shop coffees or coffees that you purchase over the counter. Coffee
Yeah.
beans can escalate, depending on what type of coffee you're drinking, okay? But in tea, what's interesting is if you really want to go even a little bit more efficiently, you can buy the bulk tea and then put it in that little like, circle ball thing I was telling you about and you drop it into the thing. But you can really buy tea pretty good in bulk, and again, Amazon, if you want it today or tomorrow, well, tomorrow you could have it if it was Amazon. But if you want to do the thing where you're like, looking at everything, there's some very interesting combinations, and they have some really good, and some of them will talk about the benefits on there, some of them won't, but you can just look it up, So I'm very excited about the fact that we were able to get this kind of a message out, because I think, you know, um, these are basics. These are silly things that are around us, that
Right.
we, you know, everyday things, So
Yeah, and the thing about it is, the one thing about tea is you can make it fast. Okay, we have the microwaves, but you could even, like, you're out somewhere, you could even go get hot water from a tap if you don't feel comfortable drinking that water. There's always things. I know a lot of people take and they put the sun tea outside,
yes, yes,
and they for the summer, and they put the tea bags in there in the water and let the sun and the heat get to it. But you don't have to bring out a coffee pot. I mean,
right.
I think even Keurig has a tea.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Keurig has a tea
I
too.
believe so.
But with
Yes.
that, I'm going to say, everybody, go out and get your teas and drink up. But we are still getting close to that 500 point. We're at like 460. We need to boost it up to 500 so we could have our raffle. We're going to have a raffle. We're going to have a big basket full of all kinds of stuff from some of the people that were our guests. So I encourage all of you to go out and ask a friend or two to join our Facebook page. We have so much to talk about. Again, Debbie and I are not experts on any of this stuff. We're learning just as much as you. And so, with that, Debbie, do you have anything else to say about that?
Yeah, I do. I always want to say, Lori, I'm so excited that
Yeah.
we're pushing forward here, and we every day, Lori and I got to spend a lot of time yesterday together, which was to me so much fun, and we were able to talk about some of our goals and some of the things that we have, and we've got people booked out through the mid-July to end of July to actually interview, and each and every one of those people have different gifts and different stories and different like successes, and so we all meet people so easily through different avenues, and we all can be connected. And, as our countries and our territories and our states and our towns all open up more, it's great, because who knows if we're going to meet some of you people that we've never met face to face, and we're
Right.
real excited about that kind of stuff. We're excited about where this is going and what we're having fun with. And we want to, be big. And we know that if every one of us does, like Lori said, invite a couple people, we'll hit that goal. And wouldn't it be fun to be the winner of the basket? Because there's some great
Yes.
stuff in there. Lori's getting some of the stuff I'm getting, being sent to her, some being sent to me. And we keep talking about it. And we're like, and we have some commitments of people who are saying they're sending things. And we're like, this is great. This is really great. This is what this whole community that we have here for the health and wellness of you has evolved into.
Right.
And it was two crazy chicks here with an idea,
Right.
and we were like, hey, let's do this, and I can't, we pinch ourselves and we say, we can't believe how much Lori and I have learned, from all of you people that have put your heart into talking about what you do, and how much we've implemented some of these things and others have. And when we have people say stuff to us like, we've listened to you, we listened to who you interviewed, oh my goodness, I resonated with that person, oh my goodness, I'm now talking to that person, that just gets Lori and I so excited. We're like, yay, this is fun. It's like when we were younger and we put a party together and we kept inviting people to come and come and come. To us now, this is like our little party. It's kind of fun.
Right,
So
exactly. And all are invited. And anybody that has something interesting that they want to talk about that has stuff to do with health and wellness, or something unusual, or a story to tell, please
yeah,
send us a message. We'll love to talk to you. But
absolutely.
we're going to say, Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Sounds
And
good.
don't forget to buy the tea and drink it.
Woo. Okay, take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.